It started like any routine hearing. Pam Bondi, once Florida's Attorney General and a well-respected legal analyst, entered a high-profile courtroom in Washington, D.C. to observe a case concerning First Amendment rights in public schools. Wearing a simple navy pantsuit and a subtle silver cross around her neck, Bondi never expected that a small symbol of faith would spark national uproar. Judge Randall Meyerson, a known hardliner on secular courtrooms, noticed her cross and interrupted proceedings to address her directly. In a shocking move, he fined her $250 for violating courtroom policy, claiming her necklace breached the court's neutrality rules. Bondi's response was calm and composed, but her silent dignity sent waves across the nation. The gavel had barely hit the block when the story exploded. Cameras rolled, legal pundits speculated, and the public demanded answers. What began as a fine turned into a spark that ignited a movement. Social media erupted. The clip of the judge reprimanding Bondi for her cross went viral. Millions viewed, shared, and commented. Hashtags like Faith on Trial and Pam Bondi trended worldwide. Conservatives and moderates were enraged. Even some liberal voices expressed discomfort with the precedent. News outlets debated fiercely. Fox News ran segments every hour. CNN hosted legal scholars. TikTok creators mimicked the courtroom moment in protest. Pam Bondi became a symbol of quiet resistance, a woman penalized for the simple act of personal faith. Churches lit candles. Pastors spoke out. Rabbis, imams, and priests issued joint statements defending her right to wear a cross. The story was no longer about a courtroom, it had become a cultural reckoning. While the nation screamed, Bondi stayed silent. No tweets, no interviews, no press conferences. Strategists were baffled, but close colleagues knew this was classic. Bondi. She didn't fight fire with fire, she fought it with precision. Her silence was a weapon. While critics speculated and supporters rallied, Bondi assembled a legal team of constitutional heavyweights. Behind closed doors, they pored over precedent, preparing a legal response not just to clear her name, but to challenge the system that tried to silence her. The silence wasn't retreat, it was strategy, and it would soon turn into a roar. 2. Weeks after the incident, Bondi filed a 78-page motion with the federal court. Her brief wasn't just a defense. It was an intellectual broadside, targeting the judge's policy and invoking a detailed argument rooted in First Amendment jurisprudence. She cited everything, from Tinker v. Des Moines to recent Supreme Court rulings. Her team drew parallels, with cases involving hijabs, yarmulkes, and Native American regalia. The message was clear. The courtroom is not above the Constitution. Legal experts were stunned. Some who disagreed with Bondi's politics called the motion masterful. Others said it should be taught in law schools. The courtroom was now forced to take the cross case seriously. The motion triggered an investigation. Judicial oversight. Committees began looking into Judge Meyerson's actions. Had he overstepped? Was the fine constitutional? Legal associations submitted amicus briefs. Civil liberty groups filed their own statements. The court, that once seemed so secure in its rules, now found itself under scrutiny. Protests grew. Petitions circulated. Some even called for the judge's removal. What was once a minor courtroom moment had become a lightning rod for judicial accountability. Bondi's case reignited debates over religion in public life. Think pieces flooded major publications. Podcasts hosted constitutional scholars. Students debated the case in law schools and civics classes. Could a courtroom, a place governed by law, restrict the very freedoms it was designed to uphold? Was neutrality the same as hostility? Bondi, in legal interviews, finally spoke. Neutrality should never mean silence. My cross is not a statement against anyone. It is a statement of personal peace. Her calm voice cut through the noise. Americans were listening, As Bondi's case gained momentum, politicians began choosing sides. Senator Josh Hawley and Governor Ron DeSantis voiced support. Even centrists began backing legislation to prevent future incidents. Congress held hearings. Bondi testified with clarity and poise. Clips of her testimony went viral. She explained legal precedent with grace, reminded lawmakers of history, and emphasized unity over division. By now, even her critics admitted, this wasn't grandstanding. This was a genuine fight for constitutional clarity. Bondi's story became more than a legal battle. It became a cultural movement. Merchandise with her image sold out. Art installations honored her. A documentary was greenlit. Youth groups organized around religious expression rights. Schools invited her to speak. Universities requested lectures. She became a symbol of a quiet, yet unyielding belief in freedom. Celebrities joined in. Musicians referenced her in songs. Authors included fictionalized versions of her story in novels. Her legal brilliance was only part of her power. The rest came from her calm conviction. Months later, the appeals court ruled in Bondi's favor. The fine was reversed, the policy declared unconstitutional, and Judge Meyerson was formally reprimanded for violating civil liberties. The decision sent shockwaves. It set new precedent. Legal textbooks were rewritten. Bondi didn't gloat. Instead, she held a press conference. She thanked her team, spoke of her grandmother's journey, and emphasized the importance of protecting all faiths. "This wasn't just my victory," she said. "It was a victory for every American who quietly believes." Pam Bondi's courtroom clash may have begun with a fine, but it ended with a movement. She inspired millions. Her cross, once deemed inappropriate, became a symbol of courage, dignity, and constitutional literacy. Law schools now teach the case. Churches reference it in sermons. Civil liberties groups hold annual forums on its anniversary. Bondi herself continues to work, mentor, and speak, not just on legal rights, but on how to stand with integrity when the world tries to silence you. Her legacy is not just brilliance, it's bravery. And it all began with one quiet woman in one courtroom, refusing to hide what she believed.